people from all over the world at this rate come in through this facility. I mean, I never imagined coming to Larned, Kansas, never even heard of it before. So you just get to meet people and interact with people, and then you get to make an impact on people. You start to realize that you're making an impact on more than just the residents. You make an impact on your peers, and then the young people starting out.
Memories that I like to keep are positive ones. Whether it's having an individual say, hey, Martinez, thank you for talking to me for 10 minutes. That really cleared my head, and guess what? Now I got my GED. Those are the memories I try to keep a hold of instead of the bad ones. So that by those memories, it helps me say, hey, this job, I'm doing something correctly. We're making a change.
Well, when I first started as a counselor, I was up at our minimum camp, and there was a resident who's been incarcerated since he was, I think, 16 years old. I remember having a conversation about how you talk to people and you get what you give. And in the community, it's not any different than being incarcerated. People want respect, they want to be treated well. So I remember sharing a story about how I was at Dillon's one time and the ground beef was supposed to be discounted and it wasn't. And the individual in front of me in the line was not happy. And the person who was working had to smile and, you know, the customer's right. And so I shared the story with him, and he's like, I guess I didn't realize that people have the same issues that I do here in prison. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, not everybody's respectful, whether it be incarcerated or in prison. And he actually released and had to call the facility to get an MP3 player or something. Well, my husband works in our admissions department. And so he made a point to tell his wife that that conversation we had about Dillon's, that she wasn't wrong, and that sometimes you just have to smile and you have to walk past people and be the bigger person. So it's one of those stories, you don't get them very often. A lot of times the success is them not coming back. So the real answer is, you know, good luck, I hope to never see you again, kind of thing, but it is nice the times that you do get that validation that you did something right.
Day to day, you can deal with some very difficult people. But at the same time, there's a lot of moments where you're just dealing with another person. At one point, I worked visitation, so that was actually kind of neat seeing on a weekend, you know, somebody who may have not have seen a family member in quite some time, have family members show up, you know, and so that was actually a pretty neat experience.
I was 5-day on the living unit. I had a couple of residents that were releasing. They were younger kids in their early 20s. There's a couple of them that said that whenever they get out that they're going to be like me. I put in a lot of overtime hours. I work a lot. And they said they're going to be like me and just keep working a bunch of hours so that they don't have time to get in trouble.
I did have a resident on my caseload when I was working with the minimum custody residents, and this guy could be a handful when he wanted to be, but he would just barge into my office and start yelling, and he was belligerent, and I just got to know him so well that the only thing he wanted to do was vent, so I would just sit back and look at him and let him vent, and then he took a deep breath and he calmed down and he'd say, okay, thanks for hearing me, and he'd walk out my door.
I had one guy in particular where he went into the first meeting, he's like, you know, I don't really want to be here, but I know this is what I gotta do to get what I want at the end. So after the 12 weeks of one-on-one meetings, he's like, you know, Miss Raylan, like, this really helped me. At the beginning of this, like, I was just here to fill out these papers and be done with it, and he's like, you actually gave me a lot of skills that are gonna help me. So that was really rewarding.
But in my experience, more often than not, you'll see somebody that you remember from here, and they'll come up and say, hey, how you doing, you know, and they'll want to tell you what they're doing now, or the positive things that they're doing, and maybe they've taken some of the things that you've given them and started to do something positive, so they want to share that with you.